Space, the final frontier. This is the 2.5-year journey of the build of the Starship Enterprise. Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and a very, very warm welcome back to building the Enterprise-D from Fanhome. I know it wasn't from Fanhome before, but now it is. So welcome. This is stage 79. It feels like stage 1 because it's been so long since I built it, but we're going to be starting up here and then progressing onwards throughout the rest of the build. So on this issue, we're doing what we're doing, a bit more of this and a bit more of that, and some lights, and with lots of things, bit of everything really. First of all though, we are starting off with this lower saucer section hull panel, to which we are fitting the escape pod covers. Now, if you remember, these don't actually have to be cut off specially, because the bits that have got the nubs on it, you can't actually see. Now, I need to remember which way round they go. So that the red line is on the narrow end. I believe that's what that says, because these have a way up. The red line on the narrow end, so that way up. Oh, I can't. I'm going to show you that way up, like that. So I shall pop all of these in place. I shall double check that, make sure that that is the correct way round, and then we need to fit this bit over the top with 2 AM screws, which I have here, and then we need to fit that bit down there with some DM screws down there. So I'll get that done. I'll check on the orientation, get all of these in place, and see where that's going to go. Right, there we go. That's that. Did have these the wrong way round. The red line is furthest from the narrow end. I don't know why they don't just say closest to the wider end, but there we go. That's now covered over. That is on there as well, nice and secure. A little bit of wobbly. I shall tighten that down a little bit more. I thought that was tight, but always double check. There's a lot of screws in this build, and if you have any of them loose, things are going to wobble, and you don't want it to wobble when it's a massive thing like this dish section is. There we go, that's better in there. Right, then we have 2 screws and another escape pod cover, because we're going to be fitting this. And where are we going to be fitting it? We're going to be fitting it, of course, to the huge saucer section. It goes in the next bit along, as they always do. They sort of work their way around. So this just fits in there a bit like that. This has to key in at the end and on there, and obviously cover over there as well. So let's get that in there. Should slot in there. It's been so long since I've done this, I don't remember exactly how it all works, but that feels like that's in place. So we'll try and get these 2 screws in there as well. I'm going to go for the big one on the outside first. That feels like the one that might not line up very well. But that feels like that's actually going into a screw hole there, so that seems to be working. Wow. Nice when things work as they should without too much trouble. Let's try this one then as well. That is also going in. So let's get that tightened up in there. That's not going anywhere. Then let's tighten up this other one as well. When you get one of these panels every issue, it feels like it's going to be ages until it's filled, but it's getting there, isn't it? So this will only go in one way round. Obviously that would tell you which way round it's got to go as well, because there's a hole and a pin, and the pin will hold that in place just like that. There we go. So that is that. I need to clear this out of the way because we need to do the next piece, which is a different part entirely. So I shall return when I've got that ready. Okay, this is the part that we're going to be fitting the other bits to. We've got 2 bulbs to fit, and obviously the cover going over there just like that. These are held in place with the BP screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those by the looks of it. That in the middle there. No, that's not. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to get 5 screws out from our packet. 3. Lots of screws out from our packet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Couple of spares. And wait for us for next time, probably. Or we're going to our box of spares, more likely. So this needs to go in there. We've got the bulbs that fit, as ever, if you vaguely remember, into there like that. Red one at the top, that one down the bottom. I didn't need to bend these ones out of shape, so I'm sure these ones will be the same. The trick is now going to be put that in place. So that goes over the screw holes. Like that. And then we can slot these in while tightening up the screws. Because on the back of the plastic bit, there'll be, on the glass bit is the little pin that stops it from coming out. I say glass, it's transparent. That's the word that I was looking for. So that needs to go in there. That one needs to go underneath there. So that one stays there as well. So they're now trapped in there, and we can put the screws in. Really hold it in place. If I can get this middle one in there. And I don't have to hold it quite so tight anymore. So that is that. Let's get all of these done. If you're new to the build, then welcome. Do go check back in the playlist. There are 78 other videos, actually a couple more than that, I think. There are some other videos of this build, obviously starting from issue 1. Now, as with all of these part works, you do get a magazine with the issues, but you don't get 1 per issue. You get 1 per delivery, the same as Eleanor and the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 car. So I will be going through the magazine and having a flick through that next time. In the 4 issues that have arrived with this, package, next one looks to be the quickest build. So basically, the video that's the quickest build is the one that I will do the looking at the magazine in, which seems to be the next one, issue 80. So if you're looking for the magazine, that's where you'll find that. Let's get that screw tightened in there. Make sure everything is where it should be. Yep, it all looks good to me there. And we've got the wires coming out ready to be fitted. So we now get to install this where I had it just laying before onto there. It sort of shows us where the wires have to come out, but sometimes they're not right. It looks like we have 4 of the DP screws to put in place to hold that in place. So let's see, we'll get these coming through there, I think. Looks to be where they're gonna most logically line up. The one below, I think, is actually the better one. But I have these coming out of that hole there. And they'll make its way around to that. That needs to be lined up with the screw holes, which are going in down here. Why is that not lining up there, though? I've got it in completely the wrong place. I think I might have. I think this has got to go forward a little bit more than I had it. If those that are going on there. There we go. That's better, because then these bits line up everywhere. So wires coming out of that hole there, like I thought. 4 through holes, and these get plugged in. Wow. They get plugged in, the end one and the ultimate one over here. So this is going in the end. Let's make sure I get it the right way round. Goes in there. And that one goes in, not the end one, but the one next to it. There. This build does worry me a little bit in that all of the plugs and wires, there are so many, and there's lots that we've done already. And there's so many more that we haven't done. Even this one section has got all of these plugs to do on there. So it's quite a bit scarier than I remembered. So DP screws. Let's get those out of here. 1, 2, 3, and one more, I think. 4. These screwed in. Now, as with a lot of these builds, DP denotes the screw that's called D, and the fact that it says P means that it's going into plastic, not metal. If it's a DM screw, then that would be going into a metal part. This is just going through the metal and holding it to the plastic. So that is that. That is issue 79. We're back on track. We're back building again, just like we were never far away. And yeah, I'll get those screws tightened up, but we're definitely getting there. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So join me next time for issue 80 and a look at the magazine. So I shall see you for that very soon. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye for now.